Baby, it's time. This is the first and the second solution of why Jesus Christ is God out of a 10 series that I'm doing. And by the end of this, you will know that Jesus Christ is God substantially. First two claims is that Jesus Christ lived and was crucified. Now, what's the evidence of this? There is a ton. I'm just going to focus on the Gospels and the outside Bible sources. But in this video, it's just going to be the Gospels and why the Gospels are reliable. Part 2 will contain outside Bible sources. When you come across the Holy Gospels, you have to say, okay, well, is this actually a historical document? Is this reliable? And you have to have a test. And for me, it was like, since I was a little kid, who, what, when, where, why, how. So for the who, well, there's eyewitness testimonies. We have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the four Gospels. Two of those, Matthew and John, are eyewitness testimonies to the risen Christ, and they are disciples of Christ. And then the other two, Mark and Luke, are second-hand eyewitnesses to companions of Paul, Peter, and all the other disciples gathering all information. Luke did. He said he gathered all of information to make sure he was making a correct document. So how do we know then that they're actually eyewitnesses? Well, when we look at the internal consistencies within the Gospels, right, they are not perfectly the same like it's writing down a story, exact as fairy tale. No, they're actually their own point of view and the own information they have. Matthew and John are different. Luke and Mark are different. But they're so consistent, it's insane. And if Luke gathered all of the disciples and gathered all information and made his gospel, and they're so consistent with the rest of the gospels, then this is actually historically reliable. But then obviously you go to Ignatius, Antioch, and other second-hand eyewitnesses and other people that confirm that these are eyewitnesses to these events, and these are actually authors of these books. And the likes of Paul quoting Luke as scripture as well in his gospel, so there you go. And then the when was this written? When is this date to? Well, we actually have it all the way to the 1st and 2nd century based off the Greek manuscripts or pieces of manuscripts that we have. And we can also go off the canon letters, which is the early church that are putting these books together. And by Ignatius quoting these books as well within the 2nd century, so we know that they were written way before that. And so the Gnostic Gospels between the year 40 and 60, and I'd say John was definitely after the fall of Jerusalem. So that would be after the year 70. And then the where. Well, the archaeological evidence points that these Gospels are very reliable because it points out places like Nazareth, which we didn't even know it was really a place before the Gospels. And Jericho, Jerusalem, Pontius Pilate, it's so consistently perfect of the consensus that was set out. The King Herod, all these things are so perfect. And then the how. How was the Gospels written? What is the literary style? It is a historical narrative of Jesus Christ. And that's how it's written. It's not once upon a time in a fairy tale land. It's claiming this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. And there is no wrongs in any of the Gospels. So that is how the Gospels are reliable as quick as I possibly can, because the max time is 3 minutes on here. I'm sure I could do this all day long, but that's what we got, all right? I'll see you guys in part 2.